Wait me, don't you?
The Kons Podcast.
Wait me, don't you? Wait me, don't you? Wait me, don't you? Wait me, don't you?
There's something that's been discovered, you know what I mean? It's just now being resurfaced in the news and trending topics and all that. I don't know why, you know what I mean? But now it's some new continent has been found called the Zealandia. You know what I'm saying? This was found, it was said to be under New Zealand. It's covered by 90% of water right now, and they say it will start a war. Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B had a baby boy, you know what I mean? The band got right back to work immediately as she was seen in the gym shortly after giving birth, still with a little bit of a baby bump after giving birth to a baby. New info on this David case, you know what I mean? So yeah, recently I had talked about this David case and Celeste Rivas, you know what I mean? I recently talked about this, and the last I had said, the home inventor had things that seemed like they were trying to carry out plans for Celeste, but said a few things just didn't work out the way as planned. So there could have been greater plans on how to get rid of her. Yeah, what's going on? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? What is happening? You feel me? Episode 330 today. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know what I mean? This is Kons Podcast. You already know what it is. It's a good Friday. You know what I mean? November 14th. You know what I'm saying? 1:50 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Definitely cold, overcast, cloudy. You know what I'm saying? Gray clouds, chances of rain and smoke. You know what I'm saying? Definitely that weather at night. You know what I mean? Definitely that weather I've been waiting on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, you know what I mean? I hope y'all enjoyed the last episode. You know what I'm saying? Where I let y'all know. You know what I mean? I let y'all know the one that I had to do a take two on, the one that didn't record the first time. You know what I'm saying? But I let y'all know about the rapper Westside Young getting kicked out of WWE after 3 minutes of being there. I also told you about the TikTok store out in North Carolina, South Carolina, one of them Carolinas, who got sued for cheating and had to pay $1.7 million. I also let you know about the Democrats released a slew of emails that definitely ties Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell, you know what I'm saying? And also I let you know about that Akon mugshot that was going around, you know what I mean? He was only arrested for 6 hours. But that was the last episode, 329, you know what I mean? Hope y'all enjoyed that, you know what I'm saying? Today I got a few little topics for you, and it'll keep me too long on this Good Friday, you know what I mean? But yeah, in case this is your first time here, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what this channel about, you wondering, it's your first episode. This is where we go over the news, go over the headlines, go over whatever headline you might have seen when you logged on to your computer, whether your homepage is Yahoo News, MSNBC News, Google News, Hip Hop DX, whatever the case may be, whatever headline you may have seen on one of them websites, I'm probably covering that right here on Kons Podcast, you know what I mean? So keep in mind, tell your friends about it, hit the share button or something to let me keep you updated on this wicked world, you know what I mean? But yeah, though, I got a few topics for you today, though, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, you know what I'm saying? It's a few little topics, you know what I'm saying? Today we're gonna touch on this new continent that's been found under New Zealand called what is it called? Zealandia? Yeah, we're gonna touch on that. Also, Cardi B had her baby boy, we're gonna touch on that. And also we're gonna touch on some new info with the David case, you know what I mean? Then I'm gonna speak my mind after each topic, you know what I'm saying? That's a new format that we're doing on this podcast, you know what I'm saying? Instead of going to a whole different little segment after I'm done with the topics and going into closing thoughts, I'm just gonna tell my little closing thoughts a piece right after each subject, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, you know what I mean? Episode 330, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, you know what I mean? Without no more chit chat or banter, you know, so let's jump right into these topics. Feel me? So a new continent has been found called the Zealandia. You know what I'm saying? This was found, it was said to be under New Zealand. It's covered by 90% of water right now, and they say it will start a war because countries gonna want to rush there and gather up all the minerals and resources that whatever it may have. You know what I'm saying? This will be the 8th continent. You know what I mean? Also, apparently it is not new. This is old news, but apparently they just recently is resurfacing because apparently it's being revealed as time goes on, meaning that the water, I guess, is shallowing out and it's starting to stick up from the bottoms. Under New Zealand, they have found it. You know what I'm saying? So the next little clips that you're about to see is just certain little clips telling you about this Zealandia, as if I didn't know, as if you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So these next little clips are just going to put you up on a little bit about Zealandia. Check it out.
We just discovered an 8th continent. Scientists just discovered this place, Zealandia. And while it is officially the most newest continent, it's underwater. And once this continent rises out of the water, it's going to start World War III. Because right now the continent of Zealandia is located underneath the city of New Zealand. But this is is where it gets more worser. And for reference, the continent of Zealandia is about 6 or 7 times more bigger than California. And once Zealandia finally resurfaces, every country is seemingly going to rush to Zealandia to get all of its gold, oil, and other rich minerals. You know, minerals like coal and redstone from the Minecraft game? But this is where it gets even more insaner. Now, after about 6 or 7 years, scientists have officially declared this as the 8th lost continent, and that Zealandia was originally part of Pangaea. You know, the massive supercontinent? Where Zealandia, once it rises, will be the most beautifulest country in the world, with water that is so blue that it is basically green. And this is where it gets even more wilder. There used to be life in Zealandia. There's a high possibility that this is where Atlantis really was. And whatever you do, do not look up Zealandia, baddies. He really got a new continent before GTA 6. Would you ever visit Zealandia?
I'm sure y'all heard about this new 8th continent that we have that they just discovered. Zealandia, or however you pronounce it. Whole crazy thing is, when we find things, like new discoveries and all of that, when we come across things and find things, how do they already have names? Are we thinking about this? How does this new continent that we just discovered has a name already? And we're saying we found this place. Like we found a continent and we named it this. It's we found Zealandia. How did you find a place that already had a name? It's not like you found it with a sign on it that said, "Welcome to Zealandia." You found it. It almost feel like the people that's in the higher up positions knew about this place, but they had knowledge on what the name of it could have been, or they named it themselves so long ago that now they just feel comfortable enough to tell us about it, because for some reason it's okay for us to know about it now.
We are facing the final days of our existence as dark end times biblical secrets are emerging out of the waters, showing the exact signs that we've been warned about for centuries. People were terrified after scientists proved the biblical end times warnings are real, as the 8th continent known as Zealandia that had been hidden for centuries underwater has now just emerged, with biblical verse Genesis 7:19-20 warning us of the land that flooded with water as high as mountains and heavens. Being found is a sign of the end, with many saying Zealandia not only shows signs of a great flood and end times already cleansing the earth once before, but it seems as if we are due for another right now. But it gets stranger as the biblical verse Luke 8:17 warns us that when land and lost cities like these come to light, God is already here, with religious experts saying the bone-chilling words, "Something big is coming soon." Despite these theories, this new continent does change how we view tectonic plates, earthquakes, and volcanic activity.
I think it might be time for us to upgrade our maps. Why do I say that? Because it turns out there's an 8th continent underneath the ocean, and it's called Zealandia. It's actually 5 million square kilometers of actual continental crust under the Pacific. This is a real breakthrough. They have finally finished mapping it out. This is real geology. The team finally finished mapping it after drilling layer by layer and decades of samples. They also have seafloor imaging of it. The crazy part about this story is that this is not new. Zealandia is not new. It's been here for millions of years. They just had a hard time proving it until now. Why? Because approximately 94% of it is underwater. So back in 2023, they actually admitted that it meets all of the requirements to be a continent. And as you can see by this right over here, Zealandia has the features of Earth's 7 other continents. Take a look at the list. I'll step out of the way, pause, and read it for yourself. Think about this, a brand new continent just thrown at us, and no one's making a big deal about it. Why? So if this is not a sign of the times, I don't know what is. So I guess my question to you is, was this continent hidden for a reason? And the timing of its discovery another? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
As you see, you know what I'm saying? That was clips letting you know about Zealandia. You know what I mean? Now, this was interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about it. I guess if you ain't following closely the stuff like this ain't gonna really pop up on your feed or your algorithm and none of that, because I didn't know anything about them finding a whole new place. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about this. This is Zealandia found under New Zealand. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be 90% covered by water. They calling it Atlantis. There's some more stuff that I done seen. You know know what I mean? This is dope, though, you know what I'm saying? I guess it's dope. I don't know. We don't know really what's on it, you know what I'm saying? People was talking about Zealandia baddies. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you Google that, if it's going to take you to a porn site or some bad, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people was putting that in the comments like that's some kind of trending thing. I didn't check it out just yet, you know what I mean? But apparently they said it was supposed to be life there, you know what I mean? So I don't know what's up with these new continent scientists have found, what this zealandia thing. I don't have no idea what this is about. Like I said, it was new to me. I thought it was dope and intriguing though, so I definitely put it in here, you know what I mean? Hopefully you learned something when you watched them clips as I did, because I didn't know nothing about it, you know what I mean? But apparently this is old news, you know what I'm saying? Old news from way back. I'm seeing clips from months ago, July, you know what I'm saying, last year, 2024. So apparently there's something that's been discovered, you know what I mean? It's just now being resurfaced in the news and trending topics and all that. I don't know why, you know what I mean? But now it's something dope. I mean, it's intriguing, a new continent, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because we still don't know what's on Antarctica, and that's right here in our home base. And we can't even fly over that mother, you know what I'm saying, without you getting either struck down or something happening to your aircraft, you know what I'm saying? So, and this is a whole new continent that we done found out about. Definitely, I think it'll cause some friction based off who gonna get to it and try to get what and get to digging and find out what, you know what I'm saying? Same with the moon, man. It's all a pissing contest, you know what I'm saying? The first people to get there, you know what I mean? So they can get the praises of being the first ones to get there. A bunch of soldier boy mentality ass mother. I'm the first to do it. I'm the first to do it, you know what I'm saying? And then we debunked the moon situation, you know what I'm saying? I don't think we touched on the moon, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to just get there before Russia, whether we implemented it, made it look like we did and really didn't, or no. We just wanted to touch on it first, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man, you know what I mean? Conspiracy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Zealandia, didn't know nothing about it. Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B had a baby boy, you know what I mean? The band got right back to work immediately as she was seen in the gym shortly after giving birth, still with a little bit of a baby bump after giving birth to a baby boy. I think it was said that she had the baby originally on the 5th, you know what I'm saying? We are now just getting wind of it as far as recently, yesterday, you know what I mean? Whenever this had got put out, apparently she had the baby about 9 days ago, you know what I mean? She didn't hesitate and waste no time, and she been seen doing interviews and also working out at the gym, you know what I mean? She wasn't wasting no time before we getting back to it, you know what I'm saying? So this next little clip you're about to see is a clip from Khadijah Lynn talking about Cardi B and how she had her baby boy and got right back to work. Check this clip out.
Cardi B and Stefan Diggs had their baby boy. Cardi B told us as soon as she had this baby boy, she was getting right back to the gym to get ready for this tour, and she wasn't playing. About 30 minutes before Cardi B announced that she had her baby boy, TMZ was posting someone taking a picture of her today at the gym. They were questioning if she was still pregnant because it didn't look like it. I love how Cardi responds so quickly because she took to her Instagram, like I said, not even 30 minutes later, like, I'm gonna be the one to post this. Cardi did us a video where you can see her body, which is T, with the song Hello. Cardi's caption said, "My life has always been a combination of different chapters and different seasons. My last chapter was the beginning of a new season. Starting over is never easy, but it's so worth it. I brought new music and a new album to the world, a new baby into my world, and one more reason to be the best version of me. One more reason to love me more than anything else or anyone else, so I can continue giving my babies the love and life that they deserve. This next chapter is me versus me. It's me against all odds. Me against everything meant to get in my way. I've started prepping for tour, getting my body ready, getting my mind right. There's nothing that's going to stop me from giving you guys the performance of a lifetime. I've learned, I've healed, and I'm loving the woman that I've become. That's what this next era means to me, and I'm stepping into it better than before. Honestly, I think we're all ready for this tour. Congratulations on your baby, Cardi B and Stefan Diggs. Y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
You know what I'm saying? Khadijah Lynn letting you know that Cardi B had her baby boy, you know what I'm saying, about 9 days ago, you know what I mean? As the comments said, you know what I'm saying? And this is dope. Shout out to Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations to her giving birth to a healthy baby boy, you know what I mean? Offset is definitely out here spewing jealousy, you know what I'm saying? Definitely for sure with this little post, Instagram post and all that. He definitely got a bitter little taste in his mouth from what's going on, you know what I mean? Definitely for sure. But hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all done and over with, you feel me? She moved on quite fast, I will say for sure. She definitely moved on fast. She definitely had a baby quick. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't broken up, I don't think, no more than like, what, a year? I don't even think it's been 12 months before she was definitely with her another dude and pregnant by him, you know what I mean? But hey, man, shout out to Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? You don't talk about gossip, but you guys been talking about people's marital status, relationships, and none of that, you know what I mean? I don't be covering none of that, so whatever they got going on, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? But I know that's Cardi B's fourth child, you feel me? So they gotta think about the sake of the kids at this point, you know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to them, though. I ain't got too much to say on that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, to each his own. Yo, excuse me. Let me interrupt this episode, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't hit that subscribe button, now is your time to do that. In the middle of this explosive, dope content that I'm bringing you, you know what I'm saying? Now's your time to hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button, comment on whatever you like, whatever you want to comment on. Now's your time to go ahead and do that if you ain't done it already, you know what I'm saying? But definitely hit that subscribe button and definitely tell somebody else to hit that subscribe button too. You know what I'm saying? It's Kons Podcast. Let's get back to that. New info on this David case, you know what I mean? So yeah, recently I had talked about this David case and Celeste Rivas, you know what I mean? I recently talked about this, and the last I had said, home invader had launched his own private investigation, you know what I mean? And that person who was doing his own investigation has recently came out and spoke on some things, you know what I mean? They did a private investigation, looking to the owners of the house, launched the own investigation. He's come out with some info and released photos found on the camera that they strangely left behind when we all seen, you know what I'm saying, they ran up in this house and raided this house and got a computer and some other stuff that they said, but strangely they left a camera behind that this private investigator was able to go in there and get, you know what I mean? He said he seen photos on this camera that was of Celeste from January 8th, 2025, and there was also a photo of a video shoot that I guess apparently she was at or going to be in one of the videos, you know what I mean? Also he said it was some sadistic things that seemed like they were trying to carry out plans for Celeste, but said a few things just didn't work out way as planned. So there could have been greater plans on how to get rid of her, and the Tesla was just a holding spot for the moment.
I'll say this, there are some things that, and I'm talking physical evidence, that was at that house that is, there could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her, and it's scary, sadistic stuff, and that's why we're trying to learn more about that. I wish I could say more, but for obvious reasons I can't, but it doesn't have to do with how she died, but maybe how they were planning on ultimately getting rid of her, and how maybe that Tesla was just a holding spot of time, and things just, you know, their timing was just off as far as getting this done. But there's a few things that we're just like,
as you just seen, you know what I mean? He said it could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her, and it's scary, sadistic stuff, as you just heard him in that clip say, you know what I mean? The next little clip that you're going to see is from Khadisha Lynn, you know what I mean? Let you know about the new information on this David and Celeste case.
Information is coming out about Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David. Earlier today, I did a video on the private investigator Steve Fisher, who is looking into this case, releasing photos to the public of Celeste and David from a camera that he got out of the LA home after David moved out. In this post that he makes when releasing these photos, he talks about the timeline, wanting to know crucial questions. He says the last picture that he has of Celeste in this camera is from January 2nd of 2025. He said David was still using this camera because on January 8th of 2025, he was taking pictures at a video shoot. I talked about this video shoot. I was pretty sure it was probably the One More Dance video. Now I'm like 99% sure I was exactly right, because I found this post on Instagram of some of the production team that was working with David on making this music video. They say they made this video January of 2025. I did send this to the private investigator Steve Fisher, that way he can reach out and ask them if they saw Celeste when making this music video, but I think that they probably didn't the way they worded this post. Said that they were part of the production team behind David's One More Dance, a project that now feels different in the light of the investigation surrounding David and Celeste Rivas. And they said that they started to feel uneasy about this when all the information was coming out, and they saw recent interviews of David talking about his alter ego Atami. Just stay with me because this timeline gets a little freaky. In my video earlier, I did talk about this music video and how I thought it was odd that there's a girl that's kind of like depicting Celeste. She even has the nose ring that none of us knew Celeste had until today. Also, how in this music video is where they're depicting putting somebody in a trunk. We see David's alter ego Atami standing there. Y'all remember a while ago I did that viral video talking about David's alter ego and him explaining it because it was just super creepy. He actually did this interview talking about Atami, his alter ego, 2 months after he filmed this music video in March of 2025.
I had the idea to kind of make this first music video introduce a character that I had been kind of ideating for a really long time. That's why you see him with the blindfold and the bloody shirt aesthetic and the bow tie. I'm really big into anime and I'm really big into manga. And I wanted to make my own manga series at one point, and I was writing a lot of poems and writing a lot of things for it. And a big part of that manga was an evil version of me named Atami, which means pain in Japanese. And he wears his blindfold, and he's basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego. And the story of the manga went like I was a detective, and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden. And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as a detective. So like when I was as a detective, I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself.
To me, I feel like this is just too much to be a huge coincidence. This private investigator is saying that there were thousands of photos of Celeste on this camera. And then all of a sudden, after the last photo of her on this camera is shown, you are recording a music video for this song where it's depicting a girl that looks like Celeste and also putting somebody in the back of a trunk in this music video. And literally less than 2 months later, you give an interview about your alter ego Atami and all this crazy stuff, and you were talking about Atami appearing in this music video. Makes me even more uncomfortable as this photo is on this camera and it's December 30th of 2024 at 11:57 p.m. Literally 3 minutes later on December 31st at 12:01 a.m. David takes a picture of his hand with this. What makes this even weirder is the fact that 3 days after he filmed this creepy music video, he was live streaming and showing his streamers I really just don't get what in the world is this. There is literally just so much stuff about this that doesn't sit right with me, and we have all been investigating the music portion since hearing about this, but now being able to connect timelines and time frames, it makes it even worse. And now the only thing this private investigator is trying to do is figure out if anybody at all saw Celeste after January 2nd of 2025. Because he is trying to narrow down this timeline and trying to figure out still what happened to Celeste. Y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Sounds good. Man, giving you the info, on that David and Celeste case. Now, this case is weird, It's definitely getting weird and choppy as the time go on. And why are they sweeping it under the rug, it seemed like, made no arrest, but now at the same time, people keep bringing up these pictures, Now they got pictures with her and this and that. Yeah, they was kicking it. Cool. Yeah, she was definitely underage. You was overage. Cool. We got that. Check. But there ain't no evidence that you was sexually touching on her and none of that, unless you got some type of tape, sex tape that come out or something like that you didn't record it. But now, as far as trying to get him to be grooming a minor and this and that, we don't really have evidence for that, We don't, honestly, There just ain't nothing there that's saying that this is what he was doing. Now, definitely us looking in and seeing the pictures and the evidence, of course, as us as speculators, we definitely gonna say, yeah, he was definitely grooming that girl, definitely touching on her, for sure. That was definitely probably, and then some more, being that they had a little pregnancy scare. He put out there talking about she could have been pregnant. That let it be known that she was definitely getting your freak on with her, that she was an underage girl, but now, is that enough evidence to go run to his house and put him in cuffs and take him to jail for? It's just not enough evidence there for that, Yeah, we seen the pictures of them together. Yeah, they was kicking it, but who's to say they not just was cool friends, It wasn't doing none of that, It's just not enough that you can prove to go drop the cuffs on him for grooming, It's just not enough evidence there, But this case is weird, though. It's just that the stuff is being swept under the rug. A whole bunch of stuff is not being talked about. People's acting real tight-lipped about it. It's just not evidence. LAPD said we don't have enough evidence to convince nobody of no crime. We talk about a girl whose body was found cut up in a trunk. You feel me? So the fact that you're ruling it not a homicide is crazy and interesting. You know what I mean? To say the least. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with this case, but I'll definitely keep y'all updated. Like I said before, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely weird. You know what I mean? There's definitely some weird shit going on. People was definitely working in high places, I think, to keep this under wraps or covered up, but something as it seems. It's just a lot happening with this case that's just not being talked about enough, and it's very bizarre. You know what I'm saying? It's a very bizarre case, and it just seems day to day, it's just slowly, piece by piece, being swept under rugs here. You know what I'm saying? We have people that are fighting to try to see what's happened to Celeste, you know what I'm saying? But it just ain't much that people can do as far as, I guess we can get all the private investigators that we can, you know what I'm saying, to try to find evidence here and who could find what that the last person didn't find. Yeah, we can keep doing that, but now, at the end of the day, is he going to get him arrested? Is it going to point to that he really did this? Evidence just ain't there, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people seem very tight-lipped and paid to keep their mouth shut about this situation for sure, you know what I mean? So I don't know if he sacrificed or he did this to get in touch with the higher-ups or get more fame. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Conspiracy theorists, have at it. You know what I mean? But that's all I got for today, though. Episode 330, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. That's the 3 topics, you know what I'm saying? In case you might have missed something or you had to get up, go pull up, go drink up, in case you had to go break up a fight, your kids was arguing in the background, your dog was barking, you had to go let him out, whatever the case may be. If you might have missed what we just went over, you know what I'm saying? I definitely just let you know that a new continent has been found. They call it Zealandia, been found under New Zealand. It's covered by 90% of water. They call it an 8th continent that they have found. I also let you know Cardi B had her baby, her and Stefan Diggs, you know what I mean? I also let you know that it was new info on this David case I just talked about the new investigation and the pics on the camera that was interestingly left behind when they raided the house. But that's everything we went over today's episode 330, you know what I mean? That's everything we touched on today, you know what I'm saying? Along with my personal thoughts after each topic, you feel me? But thank you for tuning in. We know you could have been doing anything you wanted to do in the world, no matter who you was, you know what I'm saying? Whether you was a little brother, older brother, whether you was a little sister, older sister, whether you was a niece, nephew, whether you was an auntie, uncle, whether you was a mother, father, grandpa, grandma, grandpa, you know what I'm saying? And if y'all got pets there, you feel me? That's right along with you, that's watching the podcast. Also, whether your pet is a cat, you have a pet dog, you have a pet hyena, you have a pet hedgehog, you have a pet pig, you have a pet warthog, you have a pet mantis shrimp, you have a pet pistol shrimp, you know what I'm saying? You can have a pet giraffe, you have a pet alligator, a pet bearded dragon, a pet hedgehog, you have a pet echidna, you know what I'm saying? Whoever your pet is, if they watching the Kons Podcast, I definitely with them, give them that good salute, you know what I mean? Like you see the homie scrolling up that screen, giving you that good salute, you know what I mean? It is Friday, you feel me? November 14th, you know what I'm saying? So hope everybody have a good weekend, you feel me? This beat you hear creeping up, though, was definitely made by Infectious, you know what I'm saying? A BBB. We collect the beats. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to Infectious though, you know what I'm saying? Listen to the slapping as beat as it play and creep up in the background while you get my last minute comments on these subjects. Alright, but yeah though, you know what I'm saying? It's been episode 330. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope y'all have a cool and dope weekend. You feel me? I'll see y'all probably Monday. Next episode. You feel me?
Hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you? Don't you? You hate me, don't you? You hate me, me, don't you? You hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you?
I'm sure y'all heard about this new 8th continent that we have that they just discovered. Zealandia.
You hate me, don't you?
Yo, excuse me. Let me interrupt this episode. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't hit that subscribe button, now is your time to do that. What's happening? You know what I mean? I hope you enjoyed this episode, enjoying this information that I'm giving. So go and hit the subscribe button. Yo, what's happening? Kons Podcast. For you to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Do that right now. Excuse me. Pardon this interrupt. If you ain't hit that subscribe button, go and hit that shit right now. What's up? Monday through Friday. If you fuck with Kons Podcast, hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that shit right now. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Do that right now.
You don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand?
You hate me, don't you?